Hey guys, what's up? Thanks so much for stopping by. If this is your first time here, hello, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Today's video is another makeup tag. I've been doing a couple of tags here on my channel. Honestly, I've been loving them. It's just a fun way to sit down, chat, and hang out with y'all instead of being like formal with a makeup tutorial. Not that my makeup tutorials are very serious either, but this was actually a recommendation from one of you over on Instagram. So Mariah, if you're watching this, thanks so much for telling me about this. So it's from a creator, Jen Phelps. I actually follow her on Instagram. I had no idea that she had a YouTube channel, but it's just the A to Z makeup tag. So she even mentioned in her video, there was an alphabetical makeup tag before where I think you had to apply in alphabetical order. In Jen's version, you go through and pick out brands that coordinate to each letter and try your best to just pick one product from each brand. Why do I get so much pressure from these videos? I'm like, what if I'm forgetting one that I use like every single day because it slipped my mind? I think I did pretty good, but there are some where there's more than just one product. Like it came from one brand, but I couldn't dwindle it down to one. Starting off with A, I picked Anastasia Beverly Hills, and honestly, I couldn't decide between these three palettes. Modern Renaissance is hands down the palette that I have used the longest from ABH. Whenever it first came out, it was all I ever used. I mean, I could have easily decluttered all of my other palettes for a good probably 6 to 8 months because this was literally the only palette, but that's whenever it first launched. But since then, some other favorites, the Soft Glam. If you are starting off with makeup and you're just looking for a really great quality palette, you like neutrals, you like warm shades, this is a great beginner's palette. You can create so many different looks from this, whether you're wanting like everyday minimal makeup or more of a smoky glam bronzy type of makeup look, you could definitely achieve it with this palette. And then of course the Jackie Aina palette. I think out of all of the influencer collabs that ABH has done, Jackie Aina definitely killed it. Just her color variety in here is so good. I love so many of the shades in here. Today I'm wearing some of a Wiggly's edges, and then I do think I went in with a little bit of ginger on the very top, but I love this palette, especially when you're just wanting some fun, vibrant colors. Moving on to B, this was hard because I was between the Bare Minerals Warmth and Faux Tan Bronzer in the press version, not the loose. But then when I really thought about it, I was like, okay, between that and this product, which one do I wear more? And it was this. This is the Buxom lip cream, no, lip polish. I go between this and the full-on lip cream, but if I had to pick one, I would do the lip polish. I have gone through a countless amount of tubes of this. I would say this is easily either like number 3 or 4, not necessarily full size. I think I've gone through maybe like 2 full sizes and then 1 or 2 deluxe sizes. It's just the perfect mauve-y nude type of gloss for me. I'm sure many of you guys are familiar with the Buxom formulation, but if not, you just get that very slight minty tingle. C was another hard one because I have a lot of really good faithful products from ColourPop. The Sweet Talk palette is one of my all-time favorite palettes, but when it just comes to like everyday use, something that I would have to purchase right away if I ever lost, the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. So I have shade 2 Light. I use this more just like on my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, my brow bone. But then during these summer months, I do like to go in with a deeper shade. This one is in at 5 Tan. I'll just apply this all over my face, mix it in with my foundation just for a really beautiful glowy base. I had a couple of y'all ask in one of my more recent videos whenever I was using shade 5 if I thought this was really worth it. I really do. I know there's a lot of Charlotte Tilbury products that are overhyped, but these I don't think are. I've tried my best to see if I could really dupe it with something from the drugstore. As much as I love the L'Oreal Lumi Glotions, I just never get the same effect as I do with this. It's close, but something about this, there's less like shimmer in it and more of a true dewy, glowy factor. Even on no makeup days, if you just go in with a little bit of this, it just adds some more like brightness and glow to your face. It's a really good product. We have D. This is a newer favorite, but ever since purchasing it, I have been using it nonstop. I recommend mixing it with another foundation that I'm going to share here shortly. This is the Danessa Myricks Vision Cream Cover Foundation. That's all I'm going to say because I have an entire review of this. I feel like I've been talking about it so much lately here on my channel. I'll go ahead and link that video here. If you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend it. You can even go onto her site and just order a sample for $5. That way you can really see if you even want to buy the full size, but honestly, it's not bad. It's $28. This will last you a long time. A tiny bit goes a long way. Next up for E. This is an area where there's two products, but I'm actually out of one right now. The Essence Lash Princess Mascara, but in waterproof. I don't even bother playing with the original formula. So to substitute, which is still a really great product, but obviously something totally different, this is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I'm pretty sure you can get this at Target, Walmart, Ulta, e.l.f.'s website. It's either $6 or $8. I think it's $8. I know there's a mattifying version and then an illuminating one. I've never tried those because I'm still on my original. This is another product where you really only need the tiniest bit. I only focus it on my forehead, between my brows and the sides of my nose, and I guess sometimes my smile lines. Definitely a great find at the drugstore. This is the Flower Beauty Blush Balm. As much as I love their foundation, if I can only pick one product from Flower Beauty, it would definitely be these. I love the formula of these so much, but cinnamon is without a doubt my favorite. If you have oily skin, dry skin, normal skin, this formula would work for you. It's very long wearing, it's pigmented. I use this so much. I don't know how I still have more in here, but it's another product where a tiny bit can spread quite a bit. If you're someone like me and you notice your blush fades away first and just pretty quickly, try a cream formula like this. It's not necessarily a stain. I do find the NARS liquid blushes to be longer wearing because those ones almost are like a stain, but this is still way longer than any other powder blush I've ever tried. Plus, I just really, really like this shade. Okay, we actually have another cream blush for G. This is from Grande Cosmetics. I really couldn't find many products from G. This is the Grande Cosmetics Grande Pop Plumping Liquid Blush. I have mine in Cinnamon Sugar. With these blushes, you get this massive, oh, this has been stored sideways. I would not recommend that because I did not have this issue coming out before. Definitely store these upright, but you just have this large doe foot applicator. I personally recommend dotting it onto the back of your hand first and then blending it out with a brush, a sponge, or your fingers. The doe foot seems to hold quite a bit of product, so whenever I go out and apply it straight onto my face, I really, really have to go in and work and blend. But this is another product that is long wearing. Unlike the flower one though, it's plumping, so if you apply enough of it, you do get this cooling sort of sensation on your face. Not for everybody, but I really like it. We have H. I have two products from Huda Beauty because I couldn't make up my mind about which. When it comes to the Huda Beauty palettes though, and if I could only pick one, it would without a doubt be the Desert Dusk palettes. I love her other large palettes. I love her Mini Obsessions palettes. I'm someone who loves oranges and purples together. If you have brown or hazel eyes, these color families and color combinations just really make your eyes pop. And then the other product from Huda Beauty, this one I definitely do use more than the palette. This is a bronzer I have been gravitating towards, or I guess contouring cream, for months and months and months now. I have just been on a cream face product kick. Whether it's blushes, highlighters, or bronzers. So the Tantour Contour and Bronzer Creams, these are amazing. Just like the Flower Beauty Blush Bombs, if you have a hard time keeping your bronzer on your face, go in with something like this. You could apply just this, or if you really want to keep your bronzer locked and loaded, you can go in with this and then a powder bronzer on top. You'll be bronzed all day, all night long. For eye, this is another newer favorite. This is a foundation that I was saying that I love to mix with the Danessa Myricks Vision Cover Cream. In fact, I'm not sure if this video will be going up first or my July favorites, but I showed you a quick demo of what these two look like together. This is the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. Don't let skin tint fool you. This is foundation. I haven't tried their, I think they have another like traditional foundation. I've never tried that one. This is one of my very first products from Ilia and it blew me away. I have tried the Ordinary Serum Foundation. I've tried Algenist. Who else has a serum foundation? The Ulta one. This is without a doubt the best serum foundation I've ever tried. It has a very thin, liquidy texture. I don't own any other foundations that are as glowy as this. If you love that whole glass skin trend, this will give it to you. Next up for J, this is another product I've been talking about a ton recently. I've had this palette for forever and a day now, and I always reach for it. This is the Juvia's Place Nubian 2. I have the Mini Masquerade palette, and then I misplaced one of them. I can't find it. But the Nubian 2 is without a doubt my favorite. Morocco, Ya, Jezebel, and then what's the other one? Madagascar is really pretty, but I mean her metallics, even her mattes, just her formula in general and the size that you get in these palettes. I have used Morocco so much and I've yet to hit pan because you literally just barely dip your brush in it and it's just pure pigment on your eyes. Even though it's very pigmented, it's still very, very easy to blend. It's just such a pretty color story. For K, really the only product I could think of was Kevyn Aucoin. I do love their Neo blushes, but I think I gave most of those away. I do prefer the bronzer over the blushes. This is the sculpting powder. I have mine in medium. The main reason that I chose this is I am someone who absolutely sucks at contouring my nose. I just rarely ever do it. I might go across the bridge of my nose with the bronzer, but I don't go in and do any sort of intense defining of the nose because I'm just not good at it. I feel like no matter what brush or bronzer I use, it always comes out terrible, except for with this one. There's something about this bronzer that does create that true shadow defining type of tone. For Mercier, this was a really tough one for me because I love Laura Mercier's entire line. There are very, very few products that I can think of off the top of my head that I just don't like from her. I just think her formulas are so pretty. They just work really well. They blend well. I have foundations, powders, blushes, lipsticks that I love from her. Primer, she makes amazing primers. But without a doubt, my most used from her are the Caviar sticks. Cocoa is the shade that I've used the longest. It's just this amazing, I've described this as a sexy brown before, and someone was like, what makes a brown cream shadow sexy? If you've used it before, you know what I mean. It's just ultra warm and smoky. It's the perfect like smudged out lower lash line color. You could use it just to go in, really emphasize your upper lash line even. It's a product that just really stays in place. I've tried so many different cream eyeshadows. This is without a doubt the longest lasting. As soon as it sets, it's in place all day long. A newer shade that I love, this came with her most recent launch, is Sienna. The name is perfect for this. It's just this amazing like molten metallic copper shade. It's so pretty even on the waterline. If you go in with this and then Morocco from Juvia's Place, or no, not Morocco, Ya, that is such an amazing eye look. For M, if you have been with me even for a day, you should know. This is the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. I use mine in shade Deep Brown. I do have soft brown too, but deep brown is my go-to. For whatever reason, I think Maybelline pulled this out of several stores. I couldn't find it anywhere for the longest time. Luckily, I can order it on Amazon, but the price kind of fluctuates. If you love the look of just like spiky, fluffy brows and you've never tried this, it is the absolute best. It has this spoon-like spatula applicator, and then it's a tinted gel that truly does hold your brows in place. And it has the addition of little fibers in there, so it just really helps kind of beef up your brows a bit. For N, we have the NARS Natural Radiant. NARS and Laura Mercier are some of my top brands. I have so many cheek palettes from NARS, eyeshadow palettes, but the NARS Natural Radiant Foundation is one of the products along with Sheer Glow that I've used the longest. So either of those foundations, I haven't repurchased Sheer Glow because if you would have seen from my foundation collection video, I have so many foundations, so I just couldn't justify buying a new Sheer Glow yet. But the Natural Radiant Foundation is a foundation that I have multiple backups of just because it's something that works every time of the year or any time of the year, whether it's super hot and muggy or if it's really cold. It never dries out my skin. It doesn't make me greasy. I love the coverage of it. I love that it's weightless on the skin. The finish, it's just overall a beautiful foundation. For O, the only brand that I could think of for me is OFRA. Blissful used to be one of my go-to highlighters. As you can see, it's very well loved. Rodeo Drive was another one too, but I accidentally shattered it. This is a very strong highlighter. If you don't like overly intense highlighters, this wouldn't be for you, but every now and then, whenever I'm just craving that look, this is my go-to. This was a hard letter because there's the Physicians Formula bronzer stick. There is Persona Zuma highlighter, Persona glosses. All those are really good. But over those, I love me a good glitter liquid glitter eyeshadow, and the Fetty Petta Twinkle ones are amazing, or Sugar Twinkle. Wow, I just like butchered this whole letter. These are dupes for the Stila ones. Not all the shades have quite of a concentrated pigmented base as the Stila ones, but the Kitten dupe is just as good. I'm pretty sure it's this one, number 6. I love number 4. I have several of these. I've talked about them a million times. Easily one of my favorite K-beauty products. It's just such an amazing, affordable alternative for the Stila one. So if you're like me and all your Stila ones dried out, or you used all of them and you're just not wanting to pay that price at this point and you haven't tried these yet, definitely recommend. For Q, in Jen's video, I believe she said QTIPS, and I guess that would be mine too. Not that I use them that much. I really only use a Q-tip when I have like a rogue for makeup. When I have like a rogue eyelash in my eye, I might use that to pull it out. But yeah, I feel like there used to be like a Canadian brand that people talked about forever ago on YouTube. Was it like Whoa or something like that? Same with R, which is really weird because you think there would be oh, Revolution, duh. Okay, Revolution Pro. What do I love from their Conceal and Hydrate Foundation? I don't feel like grabbing it right now. That's good. For S, I pulled out the Sum37 Air Rising Dazzling Base. This is a Korean brand. They're more known for their skincare, but this is a primer that I talked about several years ago. I stopped using it and then I repurchased another one. I don't love it as much as the VDL Lumi Layer Primer, but if you do like the formula of that, but you're looking for something a little bit less cool tone, this kind of gives that similar vibe, but this one is more of a true pearl shade. It's so, so pretty. Just like the VDL one, it has that really nice light gel-like texture that just feels very moisturizing on the skin. Not quite as easily accessible as the next product, so I still wanted to share this because this is the eyelash curler I have used, I think, for over a decade now. This is the Shiseido eyelash curler. If you've had a hard time finding an eyelash curler and you have more almond-shaped eyes where you can't get your outer and your inner corner lashes, a lot of the drugstore lash curlers almost have too tight of an arc to where it just like misses half of your lashes. The Shiseido one, the Mercier one, and the Syrah one, those are some of the best. They have this wider curve, so they really go in and latch onto every single eyelash. You can buy the lash curler and then always just go in and buy the little refill pads at Sephora. I know it's a little bit pricier than at the drugstore, but if you just buy this base once and then just continuously buy the refills, it's worth it. And it's easily one of the best, no, it is the best lash curler I've ever used. For T, I wanted to go, originally I was gonna say the Too Faced Born This Way Natural Nudes palette. I'd mentioned in my palette tag video that this is the palette that I've been reaching for almost every single day. But more than that, the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, duh, like that would have to be it for me. That is my holy grail concealer. I love it so much. I know everyone loves Tarte Shape Tape. If you haven't tried the Too Faced one yet, please do. It is so much better in my mind. It's not as drying on your under eyes. You get just as much coverage. It's just altogether a better formula. I realize makeup is personal preference, but like I said, if you love Tarte Shape Tape and you haven't tried it yet, just try it once for me. I just want to hear your thoughts. I promise you will love it. Fortunately, I'm completely out of mine right now. All right, and then for you, I went with Urban Decay. Obviously, I think that's probably the most well-known brand, right, with you. And I chose the Born to Run. I wanted to say Born This Way again. Born to Run palette. I do own pretty much every single Naked palette. I decluttered a lot of them. To me, this is one of the best palettes that Urban Decay has released. This one goes on sale a ton. I think originally it's in the upper 40s, but I think during Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, this one goes like half off a lot. I've seen it on sale at Macy's a ton, but it's great because you just have great neutral colors as well as really beautiful like metallic jewel tones. I use this palette a lot. I travel with this one a lot because you have a great mixture of mattes and shimmers, and it's just something that I can get a lot of looks out of. The VDL Lumi Layer Primer. This is one of my all-time favorite primers. It's the primer that I've used the longest. This is either my second or third bottle. It is down to here now. I've recommended this primer to so many people. If you love just a very pretty natural luminous base, this is amazing. Not only is it illuminating, but because it has that kind of like cool bluish pearlescent lavender tone to it, it really helps to brighten any weird sallowness or discoloration that you have on your face. This is a primer I apply all over, even on top of the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I marinate my face in this. It is just the best primer. For W, Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Foundation. Do not confuse it for the original Photo Focus. That foundation in my mind is trash, but the Dewy one is amazing. The only thing that I could have done better with this, it used a pump instead. Unfortunately, it's just this like spatula applicator, but for the price point, I guess I really can't complain. You have to be someone who truly does love and appreciate a dewy, luminous foundation to like this one. This is easily top 3 foundations for me, not just at the drugstore, but drugstore and high-end. It's such a good one. Okay, for X, I don't have anything. The only brand that I can even think of with X is Revolution's new. How many brands does Makeup Revolution own? Because I think they own Makeup Obsessions as well, but they recently launched XX Revolution, and that seems to be a little bit pricier version of their line. I do want to try it, but unfortunately it's not available at Ulta yet. You can only order it online. I've kind of seen mixed reviews. Let me know if you guys have tried anything from the line, what you recommend. I personally don't have anything from it. But for YSL Volupte Shine, right? What are these called? No, just kidding. Rouge Pure Couture lipstick in number 13. I have shared this lipstick so many times. If you love just an amazing, vivid, bold, intense, orangey type of red, just an amazing summer statement color, and you haven't tried this, it's beautiful. I love this lipstick so much. It's like a lipstick and gloss in one. You get a really nice high shine finish. It takes your corn teeth to pearly whites. I know not everyone has corn teeth. Use a color like this. It's like an instant teeth whitening boost. I love it. And then for Z, I don't think I have anything. The only brand that I could think of with Z is ZOEVA. I've personally never tried anything from that brand before. I actually am really curious about trying their eyeshadow palettes. If y'all have a favorite, I would love to hear. Maybe we could do a video testing out some ZOEVA products. But there you have it. There is my A to Z makeup tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I would love to hear some of your favorites down below. If there's anybody else that you would like to see film this video, definitely just share Jen's video, spread the love. And yeah, thank you, Jen, for creating such a fun makeup tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.